All right, hello everyone, and we're very excited to welcome you to this webinar on Taiwan, studying in Taiwan. Now, most of the people who saw the advertisement kept asking me, why are you having a webinar on studying in Taiwan? Well, I'll come to that just in some time. Before that, one, I want to tell you that if you have any questions during this webinar, please put them on the chat box. So we'll answer the questions after the webinar is done. And let me start by introducing all of you to the Oriental Dialogue. The ones, to tell you a little bit, we at the Oriental Dialogue, we started in 2011-12. We started because there weren't many people who taught Mandarin in a way that Indians could easily understand or easily grasp the language. The grammatical patterns, the general sentence structure of the Mandarin Chinese language is very, very close to the Indian languages, and studying through the Indian languages definitely makes it easier to study the language. So since 2012, we've come a long way. We've been teaching, of course, online in the last few years. Before that, we started teaching Korean, and we've accompanied many people to go to China to experience the culture. And we've, of course, done a lot of workshops around them. So it's been a wonderful journey. And now we are here with more than 400 batches that we've taught and more than 4,500 students. And yes, we've also been one of the first people to we've developed a curriculum for preschoolers who want to learn the language. It's a very, very fun kind of curriculum, and they start talking the language at the end of this program. So it's a lot of fun for them too. Now, also in the last couple of years, we've started 3 new learning platforms. One is Speak Sanskrit. Now we shifted from the Southeast Asian languages to something that's closer to the Indian languages. With all the teaching experience, we started Speak Sanskrit, which focuses on teaching preschoolers and primary school students Sanskrit, and how to speak Sanskrit more than anything else. We also started Speak Marathi. This was especially for NRIs who, are living in different countries, and the children find it difficult to pick up Marathi because of the environment around them. And of course, Speaking Marathi also teaches a lot of youngsters who are married into Maharashtrian families. Speak Hindi is also like that, where the NRIs learn, the Bollywood enthusiasts who want to watch Hindi cinema without the subtitles, they learn through Speak Hindi. So it's been doing well, and we've some very wonderful students for these 3 languages also. Now, coming to the question of why Taiwan? Well, what happened was the students at the Oriental Dialogue, a few of them got an opportunity to go to Taiwan. Now they give me a call and say that, you know what, Aditi, this is like a great place to study. Everything here is wonderful. The kind of courses here are very good. The teachers here are very good. Why didn't we know about this earlier? You must tell students at the Oriental Dialogue that this is a great place to study. I said, okay, then what about the details? I said, okay, we will come and tell you the details. Let's bring somebody in and ask them about how the courses are, what kind of scholarships are there. And well, that's why this webinar today. So everybody, when they say that I'm learning Chinese, they say, okay, you want to go to China? It's like, no, China is not the only place where Chinese can be useful. You can go to other places like Vietnam, Australia, Singapore, of course. Canada has a huge Chinese population. And of course, Taiwan. Nobody really thinks of Taiwan, but it's exceptional in terms of education quality, and there are many more points. So this webinar is for them. Coming to the top 5 points why you should consider going to Taiwan. The first one being it is safe. So the crime rates are almost zero like, and it's so much better than even countries like Germany, Finland, or Sweden that we consider to be, zero crime countries. So it's as safe as that. The standards of living are high. It is one of the four Asian tiger, countries, including Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore, and the fourth one is Taiwan. So the standard of living is really high. The academic programs are wonderful. You get a program for almost every subject you can dream of, and the kind of professors you have are also very nice, very well experienced, and they guide you very well. The best of all is that there are scholarship opportunities, and the government gives out a lot of scholarships. Now, if you've learned Mandarin Chinese, you get a plus point there for these scholarships. So that is one thing I would really like the Oriental Dialogue students to know, that you can show your Mandarin language skills here. For scholarships, it's going to be useful. Even for internships and job opportunities, it's going to be very, very helpful. And Taiwan is considered to be one of the friendliest countries in the world. People are welcoming and they like you being there. They like you being around. They help you in every need that you have. Ahead. Yes. So if you have another degree plus Mandarin, for example, you're an architect or you are into the biomedical or the science field or management field, and you know Mandarin, it's definitely a bonus. You can take up a lot of programs. You have a lot of opportunity in a country like Taiwan. Yes. What Taiwan expects is the TOEFL, which is the test of Chinese as a foreign language. So we've always heard about HSK as a Chinese proficiency test, but HSK is one. TOEFL is very close to what HSK is. However, there are a few differences. One of the biggest difference is that HSK has simplified Chinese character and TOEFL expects traditional Chinese characters. In fact, the Oriental Dialogue will be soon having a bridging course for students who have learned simplified characters and would want to shift to traditional characters. The HSK pattern, the new pattern, has 9 levels in total, from what we hear. However, in TOEFL, there are 3 bands with 2 levels in each band. And HSK, like has reading, writing, and listening under HSK and spoken test under HSKK. But TOEFL has 3 parts. So the first one is for listening and reading. The second one is for speaking, and the third one is for writing. So you have 3 tests to take in case of TOEFL. So the next one is just a chart about the difference or similarities between HSK and TOEFL. The levels are more or less the same. The kind of words, characters, and the usage is more or less the same for TOEFL also. Now, I'd like to, welcome Ms. Francisca Andreas. She is a foreign studies coordinator in Taiwan, and she helps students like you understand the ways you have to apply for scholarships or even studying opportunities in Taiwan. She has been a Mandarin language teacher also, and she is going to be the TOEFL preparation guide with the Oriental Dialogue. So I would like to welcome her. Hello, Francisca.
Oh.
Hi.
Okay.
Yes, welcome. Okay, I'm going to mute myself. Right.
Okay.
So happy to have you here.
Okay, thank you. I will. Do I need to wait the? Okay. Just wait for the presentation. Okay. By the way, I'm Francisca, and I'm. Okay. Sorry, come up. Okay. My name is Francisca, and today I would like to introduce to you about studying in Taiwan. Maybe some of you already know Taiwan, or some of you just heard it before. Yes, just I know there are a lot of Taiwan businessmen do investment in India. And okay, okay, next. Okay, and I'm here actually also teaching Mandarin as foreign language, and also guiding students, foreign students to studying in Taiwan, for especially if you want to know which major is more suitable for me, which university is good for me, and also the important things is how to find a scholarship. And after you are already apply it and you come to Taiwan, I also can help you to find some part-time job in Taiwan, or you want to live in Taiwan, stay in Taiwan, I also can help you, guide you to find some of job opportunity in Taiwan. Okay, next. And why we need to choose Taiwan? Okay, here I already prepared some short video. You can watch it and you can feel it, how it's feel if you are foreigner and you studying in Taiwan. Because now it's pandemic, we cannot go out and we just enjoy this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're approaching Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport and expect to start our descent in 10 minutes.
Excuse me, where's the airport MRT?
Go downstairs and then you can see the station on your right hand side.
And does it go directly to Taipei Main Station?
Yes. Are you traveling?
No, I'm here to study.
Welcome to Taiwan.
I've traveled thousands of kilometers to come here. I'm very excited for my decision, and I look forward to the unknown that's awaiting me.
Nanomedicine.
Yes, Professor.
Do you want to do an internship in Taiwan before you begin your research?
Medical schools in Taiwan have intern opportunities for foreigners. As far as I remember, there is one university working on this topic.
Okay, here's medicine.
Hi, could you help me find the sandwich man of Huang Chongming?
Here is it.
Oh, thank you.
Is it for Professor Chu's Chinese class?
Yeah.
I was in his class too.
Many universities in Taiwan have a Chinese language learning center. There are lots of Chinese learning resources for me here.
Hey, 要不要去吃宵夜？
没关系。I'm working on the next TOEFL test.
Yeah, me too. 要吃什么？帮你带回来。
TOEFL questions are very applicable and useful to my life here in Taiwan.
Foreign businesses in my country accept TOEFL certification. Passing the test will boost my chance of finding a job back home.
My professor, classmates, and I are investigating about coastal pollution and the transition of fishery. We are also taking actions in this community, hoping to achieve environmental sustainability.
Hi, Sammy. It's almost 4, so it should be about 9 a.m. there. Do you have your data ready for the conference?
Yes, Professor. I have analyzed the data yesterday itself.
Okay, see you later.
Sure, Professor. My lab often works with research institute overseas on multiple projects. International teamwork has been really challenging, but I feel accomplished as a part of the team.
这个问卷大概需要15分钟，那就麻烦你了。
这是关于 euthanasia 的研究吗？
对，这有很大一部分呢是关于安乐死的探讨。
这题目感觉蛮争议的，学校那边都 OK 吗？
可以啊，只要不违反学术伦理的题目，都可以跟教授讨论。
Taiwan is truly a country of mature democracy with vast freedom of speech and academic study.
So this is called a fumarole. It's actually caused by post-volcanic activity. Now, Taiwan may not be a big island, but it's got a unique blend of topographical and ecological features. That's one of the things that makes
My professor is a distinguished scholar in the field of geology. I could only dream of being in his class before coming to Taiwan. Just as he said, although Taiwan is not big, it has lots of treasures hidden in it.
Come visit us.
Yeah, I will. You still owe me a bubble tea? Of course, I will be back to Taiwan for sure. I'll get you 3 cups. Goodbye, guys.
Have a safe trip.
This 1 year in Taiwan is the most important year of my life. I've learned so much here that I can't wait to go back home to contribute what I have gained and realize my dream.
Some take what they've learned and depart for the next destination. For these people, Taiwan has become an important nutrient. Some others, however, choose to stay, for there are so many opportunities awaiting them.
Okay, we just finished this video. I think it's really touching video for all of us, especially if you're a foreigner to studying there. Okay, I will continue. And this is a chart that I got from all of international students, foreign students who study in Taiwan, and why they want to choose Taiwan. There's a 10 points, the reason they choose Taiwan. From 10 of it, half of the answer is about the education here. We can see for the first point is about the academic resource and quality. The next one is scholarship. And then the third one is the reasonable tuition and learning Chinese. And then also the better opportunity to further study. And I will explain it more detail after this. And I will continue to the second part. The second part of the reason they want to study in Taiwan is about the learning Chinese. You can see for the first video that we could see, the woman just arrived in Taiwan. And I'm not sure, maybe some of Taiwanese also can speak English, but they are trying to get to know you, trying to know what you want to talk to. And Taiwanese people are really friendly, especially to foreigners. So here is really a good place to you to learn Chinese. So just like Miss Aditi also told us before, that not only China, Taiwan is also a good place because people here are really friendly, and also they're really good and take care good of foreigners. So if you have any problem, they will help you to solve it. Even they know, they just think all of you is just like family. So you will feel in Taiwan just like your second home. And then the next one is about the job opportunity here. And yes, in Taiwan is the good part of Taiwan is we can find job here and we can study and earn money here. I will let you know what kind of job that a foreign student can do here. Okay, next. The next one is about the chart that come from Ministry of Education. There is a lot of India students actually already come here to study. And also it's because Taiwan Ministry of Education offer a lot of scholarships for all of India students. We can see for 2015 and 2020, their students come from India are increasing every year. But in 2020, is decreasing because of the pandemic. Okay, next one. And I will talk about the kinds of universities. There are 2 kinds of universities in Taiwan. The first one is National University. The second one is Public University. For National University, maybe you heard it before, like National Taipei University, National Taiwan Normal University, and Cheng Kung University. For Public University, I think some of you will heard about Tam Kang or Zhongyuan University. The difference of these 2 kinds of university is about their tuition, and how much the tuition we will see in the next slide. It's about, I already changed it into rupiah. For National University is 59,000 rupiah to 100,000. rupiah. And for public university, it's double of national university tuition. Yes, the difference just like this. And then the next one, okay, I already prepared. There are top five university in Taiwan. And the first one is NTU, Chiao Tong University, Cheng Kung University, National Chonghua University, NTUST, and NTNU. And here is some information that I would like to let you know. If you want to choose study, maybe all of you will find in Google Taiwan top 10 university, and I will choose that top 10 university. I don't say it's the wrong way, but you need to see it more detailed and more clearly. For example, uh, NTNU. NTNU is the best university for education major. But if you take the major of education in NTU, that is not yes, even NTU is number one in Taiwan, but they are not really expert on, not really good in education. So actually you don't choose university just for the rank that you got from Google. You can find another resource, and you can ask maybe some of your Taiwan friends or your teacher here to asking, I want to take this course, I want to take mechanical engineer, which university is better I take. Because, for example, you want to take medical, do you need to take NTU? No, actually you have other choice. But that other choice, other university are not in top 10 or top 20. Yes, there are a lot of university in Taiwan, and all of Taiwan education is actually very good. Okay, next one. Okay, here I already collect some of pictures because there are a lot of university, and university in Taiwan is really amazing. I just collect some of their activities here, and also the India students. I met him before. He is studying in ISO University for PhD. Yes, he was really good. And then also the dormitory and also the facility here. And there are a lot of international ceremony that they held in the university. Okay, the next one. And about the scholarships, I think some of you are really interested about this. There are three kinds of scholarships you can apply in Taiwan. The first one is from university. The second one is MOE or Ministry of Education. The third one is from MOFA. And the scholarships is different from three of it. The regulation and how they apply and how much the scholarship you will get is really different. But uh, I'm not telling you all the detail because you will mix up. So maybe if you are interested, you can tell us. You can tell us what is your planning to Taiwan. What kind of procedure, what kind of scholarships you want, and we will find which one from three of it is suit for you, because it's also from all this scholarship they will also want to look back to your degree or your experience when you study. Just for example, if um, your score is not enough for MOFA, actually we can find another way to apply from scholarship from university. So we will find the best university that scholarship is fits you. Okay, next one. And here I also prepare one that studying and working in Taiwan. So while you're studying here, you also can working here. For 1 hour you are working here, you will get 450 rupiah. And if you want to work in whole month, you can get 8,500 rupiah per month. And our vocation is 16,000. And this is the best salary in Taiwan. You can earn even more than this. And what kind of job you can do in Taiwan is on the next slide. Okay, there are three kinds of job that foreigner students like to do in Taiwan, especially India students. The first one is English teacher, second one is teacher assistant, and then working in restaurant or factory. Yes, just for if you are working in for English teacher or teacher assistant, you also need to have Chinese ability. So you will easier to find job. If you cannot speak Chinese at all, they will give this chance to other foreign students. Yes, and then for working in a restaurant or factory, if you are really interested to try, because there are some of India students here, I know he also working on the factory and restaurant and find some experience, because after they graduate they can work there also in that company also. Okay, next. And then okay, this is food in Taiwan. I could say Taiwan is the very very good place for food, because we have a lot of 夜市. 夜市 means night market, and we also have a lot of snacks, a lot of street food that you can try. Maybe you can try stinky tofu in Taiwan, or 地瓜球, or also the fried squid. Yes, there are a lot of Taiwanese food here that I think you might love it. But if you really don't like Taiwanese food, there are a lot of cuisine here, not only Taiwan. For example, Taiwan have a lot of Japanese food, because Taiwan also colonized by Japan for 50 years. So if you love Japanese food, there also have Japanese foods here. And also like for Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Vietnam, or even Turkey, and also they have India food. I just checked on internet. In each city in Taiwan, there are 2 until 5 India food in India restaurant in Taiwan. I never visit India before, so I don't know how is the real taste of Indian food. But I just visit some of Taiwan India food, Taiwan India restaurant, and I think the taste is very good. So you no need to worry too much to find food here. Okay, the next one. Okay, if you are really interested to study in Taiwan, what do you need to prepare? The first one is TOEFL test, or if you don't have it, you can use English language proficiency test, and we can see the detail at the next page. Okay, here is the application process. You can take the TOEFL, and the level must at level A2 or equal to HSK level 3. And then you can choose university. But before you choose the university, you need to make sure what kind of major you would like to apply. After you know your major, you can choose. I want to choose national university or public university. After you already know, we can help you to fill the application form. When you fill the application form, you need to prepare your study plan, autobiography, transcript records, diploma certificate, and also passport. After that, we can help you to find which scholarship that is more suitable for you. Because if we already got all your data and all your application, we can help you to match which scholarship is suitable for you, and you can send it to us, and we will help you to sending all your documents to the university, and you just need to wait your LOA from in India. So you don't need to worry too much about this. And then the next one. Okay, after you graduate and already finish all, what do you do? Do you want to go back to your country, or you want to stay in Taiwan? If you want to stay in Taiwan, we can let you stay here, because here is the regulation for Ministry of Labor. They said if you already have the score above 70 points, you can stay in Taiwan. And what is that 70 points? We can see next slide. Okay, the 70 points is including the education, salary, work experience, job qualification, language proficiency tests, and others. And the detail is on the right picture. For example, you are a graduate for master degree, you got 20 points. And then you got salary 31,000 NTD per month, you got 10 points. Okay, now you have 30 points. And then, okay, for example, you already, if you want to study in Taiwan, you already have A2, TOEFL A2 level. So you have 25 points. Now you have 55 points. And then the next one, you have uh, overseas experience, which means you already live in other country for six years. And now you have 60 points. And then you have ability. Now you can speak English and you can speak Chinese. You have two kinds of language you can speak. Now you already got 20 points and total you can get 80 points. So it's possible for all of us if you want to study in Taiwan and live here. Okay. Next. Okay, I think this is all from me. Thank you for all of you, and I'm waiting for you in Taiwan. Taiwan also waiting for you, and thank you for your time.
Wow, Francisca, that was like an amazing presentation. There's so much to know. I'm already excited about going to Taiwan. And you're welcome to come to India to taste the Indian food. Yes. Right. So after such an informative presentation, I would like to invite Ahana Syed to talk because she has had a wonderful experience of staying both in Taiwan and China. As most of you know, she's a Chinese language enthusiast and she's been a prominent trainer at the Oriental Dialogue. She's always helped us when we need any information about these countries. I invite her to share information and her experience about being a student in Taiwan and how it is. Welcome, Ahana. So happy to have you here. Are you there? Can you hear? Hello? Ahana?
Yeah, Lakshya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
All right. Okay, Katya, how? It's really nice to be here. I'd like to thank Aditi Lakshya and Team TOD to conduct such an informative and wonderful webinar actually on Taiwan. I think it's such a undermined place to be in. And also, thank you, Francisca, for such an informative PPT, because I was like, if I knew this 3 years earlier, I probably would have been in Taiwan like completely and made it my second home by now. So thank you so much for the informative session. All right, so I'm going to keep this an open door thing. You can just note down the questions if you have any, and we can go ahead gradually. But to begin with, I think we can move to the next slide. Right. If you guys can see the first picture, I interned in Taiwan. I was associated with the NSYSU University, which is National Sun Yat-sen University, which is based out of. All right. I need a minute. I'm not very sure why my audio keeps dropping. Just give me 1 minute. Apologies for this.
You're on mute.
Okay, now can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Shishani. Alright, so I have so much to share with you guys right now, but I know we are pressed for time. So just going on to the first picture here, this is my internship time where I interned with a company called Ming Foods. They were into packaged foods and they were exporting across countries, and my role there was a market entry strategist which focused on India, Vietnam and Indonesia. And one of the many key highlights from my interning time there was that they are so open to know your views. The fellow on the right hand side, who's I'm then the black t-shirt, the second from right, and the sir in the blue shirt, he was a general manager. This is the third generation of general manager. It's a family business actually, and they have just grown exponentially. And the Xianchang on my left side, right there, the first on the left side, he was my mentor. And as Francisca mentioned, and as even Aditi Lausha mentioned, extremely welcoming, extremely good at mentoring. I mean, my 3 months there with them, I have grown so much in my professional career, right from the management studies that I studied in the college, to just the freedom that I got to do my own research, to put it forth, and the kind of guidance I got, the kind of questions I was asked, why do I do this and why am I not fine with that? It was truly an experience of a lifetime. So coming to the more college aspect of studying in Taiwan, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Taiwan has a credit system. We don't have the credit system here in India. We have like one semester where you have 5 subjects and then so on and so forth. But in Taiwan, you have the credit system, which means that every subject has a weight. And over a period of, say, 2 years, if you're doing your master's course, you are expected to complete, say, 120 credits or 90 credits. It all depends on what course you are in. Similarly, every subject will have its own credit. If you go for an MBA study program, right? So project management might have 5 credits. Research methodology might have 5 credits, and so on and so forth. But the best thing, because it has the credit system, is that they offer incredible exchange programs where you can move out of Taiwan to one of your university, sister university, complete your course there, a semester, maybe just, you go there for 2 months as an exchange student. So the kind of opportunities you get once you are associated with a Taiwanese university, the sky is the limit. Very honestly, when I was at NSYSU, I made a lot of friends there, and one of the friend I made happened to be an Indian, and she was doing her global MBA program at NSYSU. She had received the scholarship, one of the scholarships that Francisca today mentioned to us, and she studied different semesters in different sister schools, and the fees was the same basically. So she studied at one of the pioneer, I don't know if you guys know KEJ, it's in Paris. So she studied 4 semesters in 4 different countries, but her fee was the same as that it was in Taiwan. So she didn't have to go out of her way to pay a lot more, which is almost 5 times if you are studying in one of Europe's top business schools. So remember, when you are going for a selection, a program selection, as Francisca rightly mentioned, don't focus on the ranking, because she was right when she said that NTU may be exceptional for the technical aspect, but then it may not be as good if you want to study nanotechnology. You never know. So go for the course, see what kind of supporting programs the university offers for that particular course, and then do your research, and then you can certainly reach out to Francisca, and even we here at TOD are there to help you guys out. So this was something I want you guys to know, that you can transfer your credits from one university to the other. The second is they follow quite a European and an American way of studying, right? So when I was in China, I actually sneakily worked. I was there to study Chinese language, and we were not allowed to work outside. And we were on a student visa, and had we gotten caught, it would be quite a blunder. But of course, my way of learning Chinese was working at a cafe, because that's the only place I could talk to 20 customers in a day who have different accents and who come from who want to order different food, and you listen and then you speak. So that's how my Chinese improved over time. But here in Taiwan, it's the same as that in America or in Europe. You can work while you are studying, and this is the biggest advantage one can get. You can earn, it's on you if you want to earn. But very honestly, the Taiwanese are very sincere when it comes to studies. They don't have any grand expectations, but they are very sincere in the sense that you are expected to submit this on time, you're expected to do all of the things that are assigned to you, which I think we Indians are very good at, because we've been brought up in that manner, so it's not a difficult task. But you can legally work, and that's when you make a lot of contacts, and that's so the networking is quite a key thing. And the people of Taiwan are the most friendly people I have ever known in my existence, and I say this with so much pride and so much confidence, because I have traveled, I have been with a lot of people, but I have never met anybody like them. And I don't just mean one or two people, I mean the entire island is filled with extremely kind and warm-hearted people. And I think Francisca mentioned that you can uh, they will at least try to talk to you in English. But very honestly, every city in Taiwan, everybody speaks in English, which is one of the biggest barriers you face in China, because they just don't know, or they just don't speak English. But here in Taiwan, you are lost. You can just tell them you don't speak. The least they will do is walk you to someone who can speak in English with you and who can guide you through, tell you what to do or how to go about with it. And I find that so fascinating. And I have had a lot of instances or incidences where I was completely lost in Taiwan, and I didn't know that the buses, they stop operating after 10 o'clock, like a certain route, and then there are just these circular buses that go around, and how am I supposed to go home? And there was a police at the end of the road, and I saw him, and I walked up to him and I told him that I have to go home and I live here. And I had just reached there. So the problem was, I had just reached, and I was staying out of the campus, and I did not know the actual address of my home. And for some odd reason, I did not, but I knew the ferry. There was a ferry there, and I told him that I'm studying here, and I have to, go to the ferry. So he was so sweet. He asked me if I was comfortable sitting on a two-wheeler with him. So he was on a two-wheeler back then. And he's like, if you're not comfortable, I will go get a car, or I will get a taxi for you, and we can go together. He asked me on the street that, do you want a lady officer to accompany us? And it was such a different feeling. I mean, somebody asking so many questions to a foreigner. So I was like, no, I'm fine. I mean, just get me home. And so he's like, okay, are you sure? So then hop on the two-wheeler. So we hopped on the two-wheeler, and on the way, he saw a supermarket open, and he asked me if I had dinner. And I told him I had dinner, but then he still stopped the vehicle. He got off, he went inside, and he got me 2 packets of biscuits, because that's the most neutral thing one can get. You don't know if someone's a vegetarian or not. And he dropped me home, and he made sure that we found the hostel together, because I just reached there and there were multiple lanes, and I took an exit from this side, and he dropped me from the other entrance of the lane. And he took the number of my landlady, and he checked in again the next day if everything was okay. And I found that, I mean, I'd have never seen this anywhere. Even when I was in China, I hadn't observed this. So it was very sweet that he did this. And that is what defines that country, that everybody is there to support you and help you, and they will never make you feel like you are an outsider. Never. The second thing I had to tell you, right, is about the college itself. There is so much influx of international students that you are exposed to so much international culture, and it's amazing how Taiwan is so welcoming to everything. For example, I think Francisca mentioned that you have, Indonesian hotels and you have Vietnamese hotels. There is quite a trade exchange, or quite influx of these citizens coming to Taiwan and them going to these countries. So they're so welcoming, and you'll find restaurants of every country in Taiwan. Like, I was there for 3 months. I ate a different menu every single day. And the best thing is they have a good English breakfast menu. So you can go to any restaurant and you'll have eggs and toast. And one of the most amazing things I observed is they do have vegetarian menu. You go anywhere, you tell them that you're a vegetarian, they know what vegetarianism is, which is completely a different concept if you go to China. And they will if they don't serve, they will definitely tell you where you can find it. So there is something as simple as the omu rice, and also if you tell them you don't eat eggs, they will put some vegetables in it and it will taste like fried rice in India. So it's really nice. Your survival is absolutely fine. I think I missed out on the whole work. Yeah, I mentioned the work part, right? So you can work as a research assistant to your professor. Francisca did mention that if you know Chinese, you get a leverage. I agree. But if you are in a management course or something which deals with international business or something of that sort, or you're learning economics or foreign trade, then it's not really important for you to know the language, because your work does not require an extensive understanding of Mandarin. What it requires is that you can assist the professor in conducting programs or seminars, or it's on you, basically. So it's exact American European style of teaching, where there is a lot of give and take between the professors. There's so much of knowledge transfer that happens, and you are really shaped into a very like an empowered person. This is my 3 months worth of experience, and I don't know how amazing people are doing who've studied extensively there. I'm sure they never want to come back because of this. The learning is just too much. Right. So coming to the cultural aspect of it, this is me with a monkey, and we'll just stay on this slide for a minute. On my right is a place called Chofan. Chofan is actually, I don't know if you guys have watched anime ever. This place influenced the creation of an anime movie called Spirited Away. So if you watch that, you know this place was the one that motivated the makers of that anime, actually. And it was a mesmerizing experience. And the cultural life in Taiwan is so nice because the country is so beautiful. I think we can go to the next slide. Yeah. So if you look at the left side, left map, I have been to every possible place that exists in Taiwan. The travel is economical. It's quite economical. The stay is extremely good. I remember there are many hostels there, and the hostels are even better than most of our 3-star hotels in India. I'm very sorry to say this, but it is how it is. And again, it's very economical. The country is probably, top to bottom, north to south, it's 12.5 hours of journey at the most. But it has the most diverse landscape you will ever see. So one of the major reasons I wanted to go to Taiwan is, of course, the traditional characters. That was the biggest motivation. But the second biggest motivation was the Pacific Ocean that's to the right side. So if you see on the left side map, at the bottom, there is something called the Green Island. This is one of the most beautiful places you can go for snorkeling and all of these water sports. And it is crazy. And it is so safe that, wow, I mean, It's I was on in paradise during my time in Taiwan. It's an understatement, I must say. And now coming to the right side of the map, the right side map, I lived in a place called Kaohsiung. It is at the bottom, the second top. There's this guy sitting on the beach because Kaohsiung was a port island and it has one of the biggest influences of Japanese culture because that was the major port for the Japanese. And the place where I lived was called the Banana Pier because they exported a lot of Taiwanese bananas from there across the world, and that still continues even now. Just above that, if you see Hainan, Hainan is so to the left side of this island, you have the China Sea, which is right between China and Taiwan, and it's a very rough sea. Okay, and it's all this muddy water, and it's a very violent sea basically. But the first civilization, the Dutch were the first to reach Taiwan, but I was just telling Laushir and everyone that it has such a diverse influence of different cultures across the country that Hainan has a very strong Chinese presence. It's because it was initially the actual capital city of Taiwan, which is later moved to Taipei, the capital city. And you will see a lot of Hainan will have a lot of Chinese influence. And beautiful again, they have beautiful oyster farms here, and wow, I want to go back. Then moving to this, I think you can see this cute little toy train, right? So this is in Changi, Chai, my bad. And the world's most beautiful sunrise is to be observed from the mountains of Chai. It is breathtaking. I have also been to the sunrise in the Himalayas, but believe me, the sunrise we've had from Chai, no comparison at all. Right, and then if you go up north, you have Taipei. Taipei has a lot of Korean influence. Very honestly, it's quite close to the Japanese and Korean peninsula on the top. So you are in one minute you are on a road where you will find a very very strong Korean influence. The dressing, the everything, maybe even the shops are just Korean, and you go to another lane in Taipei and it's just hardcore Chinese culture. You have the infrastructure is Chinese and everything, and then you go to the third lane and it's entirely Japanese. So I remember calling up my friends from different parts of the world. And they were like, where are you exactly? You look behind and it's completely different. So I was very fortunate that I got to experience a very strong Korean culture, a very strong Japanese culture, and a Chinese culture within China. And Taiwan is actually true Chinese, and I mean it because I've lived in China for a longer period, and they have moved, they have modernized to such an extent where the culture part is not as strong anymore. But if you come to Taiwan, it's just like coming to India. So in China, there is a word called Ti Wei. Ti Wei means your position in the family, or your standard, or your level in the family. So in China, that the highest Ti Wei belongs to the child, right? So whatever the child says, because they have the one child policy, it's all around the children. But when you come to Taiwan, it's still the grandfather and it's still the grandmother, and then it's still your mom and dad, and it just feels like India because you are living with your family. You are, like your children are growing up with your parents, which I haven't seen ever happening in China. So I did not feel like I was going to any other country but my own because of these cultural similarities that were there. Right. So yeah, this is a very beautiful country, and I want to show you the Pacific Ocean. So you guys can just go to the next slide. How about the next slide, please? Right. The left side, the first picture is the tip of Taiwan, the southernmost tip. That is where Taiwan actually ends, and it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the middle picture is a dream place I always wanted to visit. I am quite a Chinese history enthusiast, and I've studied, maybe not on paper, but my own personal study has been quite intense. So this is the National Palace Museum in Taipei, and it was my dream to visit this place. And you can see my happy face there because I was so happy being there. And I learned so much about Taiwan. And I spent around 8 hours in this palace, and yeah, and it was worth every bit of it. I remember every bit of it. So it's a must visit whenever you are in Taiwan. You have to go to this place. And to my right is my own city. This is the 85 building, and the weather was so good that day. I went in summer, so it was, and I lived on the port, so it was very hot. But that day it had rained, and the clouds had come down, and it was a beautiful place to be in. Plus, Kaohsiung, or in general Taiwan, except for Taipei, it's not very crowded like China is. I mean, I have always been surrounded by people when I would be in China. So it was always, overshadowed by people, the beauty of the place and everything. But Taiwan was so open and free, and you could just breathe, and you could have your own time to, enjoy the beauty of the country. So yeah, it was amazing. Moving to the next slide. Yeah, the left picture is the Pacific Ocean. This is my dream, and I have this photo on my wall also because this was the first time I saw the Pacific Ocean, and it is emerald blue. And it was such a contrast coming from Kaohsiung, which has the China Sea, and then coming to the east coast of Taiwan and watching this crystal clear blue water. And I'm telling you guys, if you have no motivation, just go to see this sea, to see the Pacific Ocean. I think that will bring in enough motivation to keep going back to Taiwan, because this is the right side, right? So if you're driving down the road in the eastern side of Taiwan, on the right is this beautiful blue, emerald blue, no, not emerald, I think, I don't know the blue, this deep blue colored ocean, and on your left side you have mountains which are taller, and so like taller than you can see from your own car. So if you're driving down and you can't see the top of the mountain, this is the kind of contrasting geography Taiwan has, and it is just too good. In the middle is they have a lot of festivals. So this is the Taichung, yeah, this is in Taichung, the balloon festival, and we had all gathered there, and I went with one of my very close, my landlady. I told her I want to visit Taiwan, so she took me to this place, and it was the balloon festival, and there were so many people, and it was so well organized because this was on a mountain, and the parking was at the bottom of the mountain, so they had their own vehicles in place, some minimal charge of I think 10 kwai, and then they would drive us up and then drive us down again, and very well organized. And this is the most people I saw in Taiwan after Taipei. Taipei is the capital city, so it has a lot of quite populated, honestly. And to the right is again the Taipei 101, and this is a photo I am very proud of because I clicked it. And this is 101 floors, and we can go right up to 20, I think that 98th floor, yeah. So this was Taiwan for me. Just going back on a few points that Francisca had mentioned, and actually Aditi Laush had mentioned about the safety, so I wanted to tell you guys about the safety, that I was dropped by a policeman, and it's absolutely safe to walk at 2 o'clock in the morning. I used to go to the pier, this port, just in the night to get a good walk, and it would be entirely safe. Taiwan treats you like family, which is very true. During one of my sessions, actually, something happened and the table had a nail come out, and I had hurt my leg, and I was bleeding and had to take stitches. So I had no idea who this professor was. He got to know I've gotten hurt. So one professor and his assistant, she came along, and they got the stitches, and they even paid for my injury, which it's true they treat you like family. And the third thing is the food part. Most of the dormitories in Taiwan, they certainly have uh, what a kitchen, yeah, a common kitchen. So even if you find eating in a mess not very convenient, or you don't like it, or you take some time to adjust, you can buy vegetables. You get amazing vegetables, and just come back home and cook, and you're good to, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. So I want to go back after talking so much. So I'm going to ask Aditi Rashid to take over now. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Ahana. It was an experience to even see your pictures and know more about Taiwan. Now, for all of you who are attending this webinar, if you have any questions, we would be happy to take them. Now, I think you'll be unmuted, and you can ask questions if you have any, or you can just type them down onto the text box. Will they be unmuted?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, please. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
We have a question that someone has asked. Maybe Francisca can answer this one. So Francisca, they want to know what is the approximate cost that comes with studying in Taiwan. If you do, say, a master's degree or a research degree, how much would it totally cost?
The cost is around 52,000 NTD. It's, wait for a minute, it's around, in rupee, it's around, okay, wait, it's around 59,000 rupee and to 171 rupee without scholarship. And it is only the tuition fee, not including, for example, ARC, or you want to have the student insurance every semester you need to pay. But if you are want to study here, actually there are a lot of scholarship you can apply that makes your tuition fee is more cheaper. Yes.
Okay. And they also want to know what is the eligibility for a scholarship? Like, is just applying enough, or are there any specific things that you have to fulfill?
Okay, the first thing they will see your language ability. Yes, for example, is English. Yes, you need to have English proficiency test, or they also will. Okay, I will explain it more simple. There are some quota on it, and every people from a lot of country will try to apply. And maybe for MOE, they only apply 10 per year or 30 per year, and they will take a look of all of your degree and all your experience or all your academic, and they will choose. So we are not sure which kind of criteria they need, but if they are how shall I say, if you are not you think your scores or your when you are studying your diploma, your scores are not really good, I can prefer you to apply university scholarship, because it is more easy than MOE or MOFA, because in MOE and MOFA there have a lot of requirements and they won't write it all, because they will take from all of the students from all of the country who want to apply, and they will choose from there. But for university, there are a lot of scholarship you can get from there.
Okay, thank you for that. Hannah, this is a question for you. If I know simplified Chinese characters, how difficult is it to transition into traditional characters?
Yeah, Abha, I think that is one of the most frequently asked questions we have. Very honestly, when you know simplified characters and you keep looking at them over and over again, they kind of get stuck into you. When you transition into traditional characters, you may find it difficult to write at the beginning because we're not very used to the number of strokes that increase. So every radical, now the radicals we use are shortened, but they still use the longer radicals. It takes some time to get a hold of having clean handwriting, but it's very easy to pick it up because you already know the simplified, and once you know the traditional, I think when Francisca was sharing, I think you might have seen the Kuo, the country character, or the
Mm-hmm.
Shui,
Yeah,
she, that way. So you see it two, three times, and it actually stays in you because while learning the language itself, you have developed a mindset to pick up how to understand characters. It's just learning another set of characters. So you need to have close out this block that you create, that there is a rift between the simplified and the traditional. Actually, it's not. It just look at it that you are learning extensions of the characters. That's it. It's the same thing. You are going to say quote the same way, quote yeah the same way. Just you're going to write different. So don't have this mental block at all. I was there for 3 months and I studied 2 classes a week, and I'm quite fluent with traditional also now. So don't
okay,
have that
awesome,
mental
Hannah. Thank you for that. Another question, maybe Francisca can answer this. Is
Yes.
can we apply for a work visa based just on work experience? So I think what he means is that if he doesn't want to study in Taiwan, can he directly apply for a job?
Yes, they can, but they need to find the company, and the company must help them to apply the visa. If the company want them to work in Taiwan and they uh, want to apply the visa, yes, they could come to Taiwan for working. No need to study in Taiwan.
No need to study.
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Another question is, what is the eligibility criteria to work as a part-time English teacher?
It's quite different. It's some of the foreigner will teaching in at the cram school, and every cram school have different criteria, and some of them they will test the teacher first and try to give them some question, and they will check your grammar, or they will have a speech with you. If they think you are fluent enough, they will let you to work in Taiwan. But they will really love to have foreigner teacher to teach English, because the student will think, wow, there is foreigner, even I don't know his or her English is good or not, but there is foreigner, your face not look like Asian. Yes. So no
Right.
need to worry too much.
So, as in, while working as an English teacher, they also need to know Mandarin, right? To teach English. Is
No
that the
need.
case? No need.
No. Yes.
Okay. Another question for you, Francisca, is what is the application cycle? Like, when do applications open? When do colleges start?
The colleges will start. There are two in 1 year. They are open 2 times. The first one is spring. The another one is autumn. For spring, you can apply from July to November, and for autumn, you can apply from November to July. Yes. So you can apply for the admission for this time.
Okay, thanks for that. Another question someone has is, after they finish studying, after they finish their degree in Taiwan, how long can they stay in Taiwan before they have to get a job? How long can they
Oh,
stay on student visa for?
okay. After you graduate, actually there are a lot of regulation. Uh, you have you have 2 years actually. The first year you can find place to work there as a internship 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
After you finish your internship, you have 1 more year to find job. But if you don't do internship, you only have 1 year opportunity to live here, find job. Yes.
Okay. All right. Another question, maybe Ahana can answer this one. If I'm admitted into a university, how can I go about finding apartments or accommodation?
Right. One of the best ways is before you actually go move to Taiwan, you can reach out to your coordinator, the one you're coordinating, the university coordinator. They are extremely helpful. They give you options such as you can find accommodation on campus, and there are also a lot of hostels which are situated outside the campus. So they give you a list of these accommodations. They will also ask you if you want to find an apartment or something. So they share an entire database, and then you can pick, and they even help you to coordinate with them basically. So in case if you want to book it, they will help you book it on their behalf, on your behalf. Maybe you cannot directly reach out to them sometimes. So, but the college is like your one stop for all the queries that you can have, including accommodation.
Okay, that's really good to know. Um, Francisca, maybe this is a question for you. What is the best university for a business course in Mandarin language? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
For business, there are a lot of university, but I think I will give the list to you later, but I just remember some of it. Some of students, if you want to study in Taipei, most of them we choose NTU, because the students graduate from NTU. There are a lot of most of them are investor. So student if you want to study in Taipei, they will choose NTU, or they if want to study in Taichung, they can choose Wengjia or Donghai, or also they can choose yes, that three of university that is popular in business administration.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Aditi, maybe you can answer this question. If I want to apply to Taiwan, will TOD be helping with TOEFL prep and the application process?
Yes, we plan to start the TOEFL preparation classes very soon, especially so that we can help you with the traditional characters. When you've already done the simplified characters, we can sort of help you transition into the traditional Chinese characters. Yes, we'll do that soon.
Okay, awesome. A question for you, Ahana. How different is Chinese, like the language between Taiwan and China?
Very honestly, Taiwan has the most clear spoken Chinese I have ever heard. So when you land in Taiwan and you are just a beginner, I'd say, you're in your level 2 right now at TOD. I'm so sure you will be able to comprehend all the little words you've learned and everything, because their speech is very clear. And I would, take this opportunity on behalf of TOD also to tell you guys to watch as much as Taiwanese serials you can, because they are so clear. You will really get a lot of confidence when you listen to them. And contrast to China, I had learned Chinese for 4 years before I actually went to China, but it took me 3 months to just settle in with the way my own Laotier speaks or my own batchmates speak, because their accent was very different and their speed was very fast and the clarity was not as much. So focus on your audio towards the Taiwan series. It's very clear speech. So that's the only difference. Yeah, another difference is they do have a little differences in the words. For example, you have tuche, that's a traffic jam in Chinese, but in Taiwan we call it saiche. But you understand it. It's not a very big difference. Just sometimes like this. and that's absolutely fine. You pick it up instantly, so no worries on that also.
Okay, awesome. That's really good to know. Another one, maybe Ahana, you can answer this as well. What has been your experience with trying to find Indian food in Taiwan?
Right. Indian food in Taiwan. Little. How would I put this? I am quite a. I like to experiment, so I did not focus too much on Indian food. But my Taiwan friends and they all like to wanted to try out Indian. So we did go to almost 20, 30 different Indian restaurants, and they are owned by Indians. So you really get authentic Indian food there. And yeah, and in every city, I went to an Indian restaurant in every city of Taiwan. So that is not a problem. You miss home, you can go and have dal khichdi then. You're going to be fine, which is actually not the case in China. Yeah, it's a little difficult, but their food does taste a little like our food. So you will never have food issues in Taiwan at all.
Okay, I think that's reassuring for everyone. Um, cool. I think those are the questions we have for now. If anyone has any more questions, you can just unmute yourselves and ask.
There's one question about non-technical undergraduate programs in Taiwan. I think Francisca will be able to answer. Which one would you suggest? For non-technical programs, which ones are the best programs that Taiwan offers?
Actually, most of India student will choose not only India, just most of foreign student choose Taiwan for major like business, education, and also medical. Yes, three major. There's three. There are three major. They are really interested because Taiwan is really good at this and also agricultural. Yes, you can choose this except of mechanical because I think a lot of India students only take mechanical or um what are that business. Yes, but there are a lot of opportunity you can choose here, a lot of major you can take here, and a lot of courses you can study here. And here is interesting things about studying in Taiwan. For example, I study for business, but I'm really interested in hospital major. Not hospital, hospitality. Yes, I love cooking. And I also can take courses to the hospitality major. And you need to finish that nine credit. Yes. In every university in Taiwan for bachelor degree, you need to try other major and you need to have 9 credit. Yeah. So actually what kind of university or what kind of major you want to take, you have chance to try other major. And also if you are not like, for example, the first time I think mechanical engineering is cool, but I already study for 1 semester. I think it's hard. I just want to change it. I want to learn makeup. Yes, I can change it in Taiwan.
You can literally mix and match courses.
Yes.
That's wonderful to know. You can change to something from a technical side to beauty. That's wonderful.
Yes, some of university allow you to change, but not all the university will help you. Not because they don't want, because if you are changing for example, like mechanical to makeup, there's some courses it's different. So you need to finish your study you need to add 1 more year or 2 years to finish it. Yes. That is possible, but it's depend on you. You want to graduate on time or you want to stay longer for 1 year or 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, another question, Francisca, is can students take the TOEFL exam online or at home as well, or is there a center to give the TOEFL exam?
Okay, I think the place to take TOEFL exam in India, Miss Aditi can explain
Yes,
them.
it's
Where is
in
it?
Delhi. It's in Delhi. The center is in Delhi.
Okay, so there's no option to take it online or at home.
I yes, sorry, Francisca.
I think for online, they need you can take the courses online by yourself, but there's the regulation on that too. There are, for example, they need to have Mac LCD or what kind of speaker you need to have that a lot of things you need to prepare and you need to pay. I just check, you need to pay 3,000 and 3D. Yes, and you need to prepare all the things by yourself. But I think that is not only you not prepare by yourself and exam by yourself. Just for example, maybe Oriental language here could help you to open this class, and you can take the courses here. You can have the exam here. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And where can students apply? Aditi, maybe you can tell us where can students apply in India to take the TOEFL test? Like where can they register for TOEFL?
So this is all under the Embassy of Taiwan. It's in Delhi. So there are registration forms on the website also, and there's a lot of information on the website. So you can just go there and register for the TOEFL exams. They are not out with the 2022 dates as yet, because I think they're waiting for the pandemic to slow down a bit before they release the dates. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Okay, awesome. Does anyone have any more questions? No, Aditi, I think maybe we can end it then.
Yes, I would like to thank all of you for being here. Thank you, Francisca. Thank you, Ahana, for sharing so much insight about this. And I'm just very happy that we could host this webinar to bring you to understand how much more opportunity is there after learning any foreign language, of course, but yes, Mandarin at TOD. And if you have any questions, if you think of any questions later, please be free to send us a mail or connect with us. You're already, most of you are connected. So on WhatsApp, we're there, we're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, we're everywhere. So let us know in case you have any questions and you need any guidance. We're there to help. Yes, thank you very much. Looking forward to meet all of you again.
felt so connected to my own country because in India we do talk about vegetables. Our mothers do sit and talk about, oh, the onions have become so expensive now. Oh, the tomato season is gone now. So you could just connect on a very genuine level that okay, the aunties in Taiwan also talk about onions and tomatoes. It was really nice, really nice. And I couldn't resist, but I looked back and I told her that this is exactly what women in our country talk about. So thank you.